Hello and welcome to this video. I'm glad you're here. Today I have another art challenge for you, but to be more precise, even a battle. An infinite battle between digital and traditional art. What is better? What is more effective? What is considered real art? Let's find out today. And our lovely companions for this challenge will be Zoey and Mira from the movie Kpop Demon Hunters. Now, both digital and traditional ways of painting have their pros and cons. In digital drawing, you have undo, different modes, clipping masks, select and transform, copy-paste, and so on. Traditional art has more feeling to it. It is something tangible, a physical product you can have. Of course, you can print out your digital works as well. But in my perception, traditional artworks have more soul to it, I'd say. On the other hand, in traditional art, you should have sort of a plan how you will go with the painting, because you can't paint light colors on a dark background with watercolors, for example. In digital art, you have more freedom to change the direction of the drawing completely. So I'm going to draw each character in 3 rounds: sketch, line work, and color. I'll start with traditional art because I feel more comfortable with it, and I'm going to draw Zoey first. For sketching Zoey, I will use the sketchbook with a paper thickness of 200 grams per square meter. It is a very good paper, and a Muji mechanical pencil. Let's go. I start with laying down the base for the character's pose and gradually refine the sketch. And boy, all those teeny tiny little details. Don't get me wrong, the character design is immaculate, but drawing all of this, and I already omit a lot, but imagine not only drawing it once, but animating the whole thing. I have huge respect for all those people who participate in animating stuff. It must be infinite amount of work. And this is the finished sketch of Zoey. Looks a little bit messy, as it should. And now let's get onto digital sketching with Mira. To be honest with you guys, I absolutely hate sketching digitally. Boy, did I struggle. I tried several times to sketch her standing and holding her weapon really epic. But it was never dynamic enough, to say the least. Most of the time the sketch ended up just looking goofy. Those are not even all attempts here. Giving up on a standing pose, I tried a seated one. It was fine, but still not good enough, and I knew that I can do better. Lastly, I went for the pose I initially planned for Mira, but for some reason decided not to draw. Why though? Because this pose is literally made for her. Now you can see that sketching digitally has lots of advantages. You can scale, transform, undo, and all that stuff. But funny enough, I feel so much more comfortable sketching traditionally that I don't have the need to use all these fancy features. Also, the recording pressure, I still struggle a little bit with drawing on camera. Another challenge was that I wanted to capture Mira's essence while still maintaining my art style, but her iconic image is so far from my usual style, technique-wise. I tend to draw rounded faces with big open eyes, but her elongated face shape, along with her eyes, gave me a little bit of a hard time. And these are the results for the first round. Now onto line work. For Zoey, in traditional art, I will use liners from faber-castell in 0.1 and 0.3 thickness. With line art, I have love-hate relationship. Sometimes it feels therapeutic, sometimes so tedious. Also, I'm super careful with my liner marks on paper, because once I put a stroke, there is no way to undo it, and I'm freestyling and simplifying a lot. This is how you can tell that it's a good character design. Even if I were to simplify the drawing to the most basic elements and colors, Zoey would have been still recognizable with her hairstyle and color scheme, for example. And this is the finished line work. To be honest, I would have wanted it to be neater and cleaner, but it also has its charm being a piece of traditional art. Now onto digital. Here I think I had way too small canvas, that's why the lines look a bit pixelized. The good thing is I can do and undo a line endlessly until I'm happy with the result. Also, in a lot of softwares, you can turn on align stabilization or stroke stabilization or whatever it is called, so that your lines look cleaner. And this is the result for Mira. Here you can see both line works done in different mediums. And now let's give the girls some colors, starting off with Zoey. For coloring, I will use watercolors because it's my favorite traditional tool. I start with base colors and slowly add color variations. For details, I use watercolor pencils from Faber-Castell as well. And this is the result. Isn't she adorable? Let's see what we can get out of the digital realm. The coloring process in digital is similar to the one in traditional. I start with base colors for the skin and clothing, a little gradient for the hair. Then shadows on skin, clothing and hair. Now onto details like face, some fancy textures on the t-shirt and skirt, don't forget the accessories, as well as highlights more for visual appeal rather than accuracy. And we are done! The major advantage is that I can change and tweak colors at any given moment. I can start off with details and then lay down the base colors. Also, let's not forget textured brushes and the blending modes. Not to mention that I don't have to wait until the paint dries to continue drawing. As you can see, digital drawing might be called a cheatery or lazy drawing in lots of ways. But think about this. If you give a crazy expensive drawing tablet with the fanciest drawing software to someone who has no idea how to paint, nothing good will come out of this. That is to say, although digital drawing has many tricks and shortcuts, it still requires a massive skill. A drawing tablet and a program don't make art for you. It's not like there is a button which you can press and it creates a masterpiece for you. Now, with AI stuff, that's a whole different matter. But it's not the point of this video. The point is that both traditional and digital ways of painting require skill and understanding of the subject. Alright, that was way deeper than I originally planned. But anyways, here's the result. And here you can see both drawings done traditionally and digitally. For my taste, a plain white background is a little bit boring, so let's splash some colors, like literally. You know in the song what it sounds like? Zoey sings, "Why did I cover up the color stuck inside my head?" I took this as an inspiration. As for Mira, she sings, "I should have let the jagged edges meet the light instead." And you know kintsugi, the Japanese art of repairing broken pieces with lacquer mixed with gold? I've thought about it, and the girls also sing, "We broke into a million pieces and we can't go back, but now we're seeing all the beauty in the broken glass. The scars are part of me, darkness and harmony." So instead of hiding our imperfections, the idea is to see them as part of us. Also, one of their songs is literally called Golden. Genius. As you can see, both digital and traditional art have their advantages and disadvantages. So instead of arguing what is better, just choose what feels more comfortable for you. For example, I prefer to sketch on paper, and then continue drawing on a tablet. Or when making full-body illustrations or concept arts, I keep coloring way simpler in comparison to full-rendered portraits. In conclusion, the best way to draw, best tools to use, best art style are the ones you are most comfortable and confident with. That's it for this video. I hope it was interesting, entertaining, maybe informative or even inspiring for you. Feel free to join me here for more art-related content like this. Thank you so much for watching. Create and enjoy. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!